Hey, it's Tom. It was clear on the earnings call when Elon was speaking how passionate and convinced he is on solving FSD or autonomous driving. He thinks it can be achieved by the end of this year, 2022. Here's a clip of him telling an analyst that he really is underappreciating the true value and magnitude of FSD and its impact.
People just do not understand how profound a change this is. It's not like some little feature. It's like the most profound software upgrade maybe in history. Millions of cars suddenly have 4 or 5 times the utility than they used to have. I don't actually know how to quantify that financially, except that it's some big number.
In this video, I'm going to go through my thoughts on how big the Robotaxi business could potentially be for Tesla and the world, really. So first off, ARK Invest has done some research that shows the average price of a taxi is anywhere between $2 to $4 a mile, depending on the location. So for my number here, I'm going to go and use the bottom of that range, $2 a mile. This is my central case view of how things will go as a robotaxi. I assume that FSD is fully solved and all government and regulatory issues are approved for robotaxis to start roaming around at the end of 2023, beginning of 2024. What happens is then Model Ys, or potentially other models, are produced and kept by Tesla, starting at 500,000 cars in 2024, then increasing year after year. The second line here shows the number of cars that are in the network each year cumulatively. Then, once a car has done 500,000 miles, it's retired and taken out of the fleet. The next calculation is to work out how many miles each car or robotaxi can do in a year realistically. So if we assume on average a taxi travels at 20 miles per hour and that it will be utilised for 16 hours of those days, I'm saying that it's going to be used for 360 days a year. This works out to be just over 115,000 miles per year. Next up, here's the £2 per mile cost in the first year that ARK have done all the working on. I then have that price per mile reducing by 20% each and every year as there's more supply of taxis that become available, as well as adoption of the service, more people wanting to use it. Below this in the table shows that 60% of the travelled miles by the car are billable or chargeable. The other 40% will be made up of travelling between jobs and idle time in hours that people just don't utilise the service when people are asleep. I've also put in a cost of $1,000 per robotaxi per year in costs. That would be for example, a new set of tyres and minor repairs each year that are needed. I mean, look at the next line, look at the profits. I really want people to challenge me on these numbers. In 2030, we could see a fleet of over 18 million robo-taxis offering rides and a profit of over $600 billion. Now, what if we go crazy and say that Tesla stops selling cars from 2024 and just runs every car that they produce in their network and they keep them? The numbers get pretty big pretty quick. By 2030, we could have over 30 million robotaxis in the world, charging around 50 cents per mile, bringing in around 1 trillion in profit each year. I mean, what multiple would the market apply to this business? 10, 20, 50? Think about the value of that just as a business. I hope this has got you thinking about the profitability of the robotaxi service and the network. If you have any thoughts, then drop them in the comments below, like this video and subscribe to the channel. But until next time, stay safe.